Thriller Pings. This week we took Harrison to Poltergeist. And now we're going to review it.
Are you okay? Are you going to cry again? Poltergeist is a remake of the 1982 Tobe Hooper, Steven Spielberg, famous haunted house horror thing. Basically about a family that move into a house that's cheaper than they thought it would be because guess what? It's haunted by a poltergeist. Weird shit starts happening. The kids don't like it. And the smallest child is sucked into the realms of the nether, is that what they call it? And the family hire some paranormal investigators to help them get her back. And if it sounds familiar, it's because it is very familiar. That's basically every haunted house film ever, isn't it? Insidious. Are you okay? Do you want to talk to the lovely people?
Way more high-pitched noises than usual.
Without
giving it away.
We could go into the specifics of exactly what happens and stuff, but again, that's spoilers. But it goes without saying, if you've seen the 1982 Poltergeist, you have seen this film, and you've seen a way better version of this film.
If you haven't seen the 1982 version of this film, but you've seen the trailer, you've seen this film as well.
Yeah.
I sat in there, I knew exactly when every jump scare was going to happen, every scare was going to happen, because most of them are in the trailer.
And it's, as a result, it is kind of boring.
Yeah.
There were times where I was sat here why am I not just watching the original again? Or why am I even bothering watching this? It feels like, and I said this to Harrison when it came out, and you got a bit annoyed with me, but I'm going to say it again anyway. The way I felt about this film is the exact way I felt about the Carrie remake when I went to see that. It's just so unnecessary. If you're going to remake some famous horror movie or something, at least have the balls or the guts or whatever to do it in a slightly different way. We did our top remakes the other week. The Evil Dead did something new with it. It kind of, although it took the same basic premise, it did it in a more grisly way. It kind of took a different stance on it, changed the characters around. This is basically just a direct copy of the original Poltergeist, just less good, taking all of the great effects out, and taking all of the key moments and just doing them in a slightly lazier way. So there's no reason for this film to exist at all.
It's basically just an update.
All they use to update it. They use to update it is the fact that there's technology in
There's technology and then there's CGI.
And the CGI does not look good.
It's not needed.
One of the most famous things about Poltergeist, and it's on the posters as well, is the static of the TV. Modern TVs don't have static.
Yeah, it's glitchy.
So it just doesn't look good. I'm going to say some positive things before we unleash the Kraken.
Okay.
Sounds like a porn.
Why does it sound like
before we unleash the Kraken.
This is turning into a porn.
Please don't leave that in. Some positive things. This actually, I guess the good thing about this film, the sole good thing, it's very well cast, and for the first third half of the film,
very well cast. Well, I'd say it's some roles are well cast.
The kids I really like. The older girl doesn't really have anything to do, but the little girl I found very adorable. The little boy I never found annoying particularly. I really like Sam Rockwell, and he's a pretty great dad. I really like Rosemary DeWitt, and she works as the mother. Yeah. My only problem with them, they're really good at the beginning. My only problem is when the actual haunting stuff starts, they never feel like they're in legitimate danger. Their reactions never seem genuine. They never really seem that desperate.
I think it's more the fact that they're just not. They're put aside because they kind of build up the characters for the first half, and then for the second half, it's basically just now there's ghosts, so you can watch them scared.
But even when they're scared, they don't seem legitimately scared. They're just kind of oh no, the wall's open and it's gone all yellow. Okay. You talked about how it's similar to the first one, when the paranormal investigators come in to investigate, and this guy's I saw a piano stool move once over 7 hours, and everyone's and Sam Rockwell's yeah, we'll watch this. But he doesn't do that in this one.
No.
In the original, he's yeah, we'll watch this, and he opens the door, and there's shit flying everywhere, and it's quite funny. In this one, Sam Rockwell doesn't say anything, then a chair moves and smashes against the wall, and he's just I told you. But it doesn't work in this one, because they never build it up enough.
No, it's pig shit.
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is
Pig shit.
And a
Pig shit.
and a
Pig shit.
Pig shit.
and a
Pig shit.
Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours.
To real opinions. On that note, Harrison.
Okay. I kind of tried to like it, and there were a couple of things. Sam Rockwell's kind of okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to maintain the general idea that the focus should be... It shouldn't be, like, overly gory and stuff, and that's kind of the closest you get to a family-friendly horror film, even though it's 15. They got that right. It shouldn't be, like, overly gory and stuff, and that's kind of the closest you get to a family-friendly horror film, even though it's 15. They got that right. As for everything else, the CGI is horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's there. Well, I do know why it's there, but it shouldn't be.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's horrible. It's just not scary enough.
No, it's not. It's
It's
terrible.
not badly made.
And then there's all these terrible, terrible, terrible attempts to like update it with like the hashtag "this house is clean," which is just horrible.
It's because it's basically parodying all the the shows where the person goes in as like
Most
supernatural
Haunted
shows,
or
and so
Ghost
it's not they actually put a hashtag
that's-
in the film, but it's like
Yeah.
it's them watching TV and it's hashtag on the screen.
I mean, that idea as
But
well
it's-
of turning the paranormal investigator into like a TV personality is what they did with the Fright Night remake. So that's, that's ripping off another remake. So well done. Every time they just take a scene, they go, "How can we make that iconic scene as bad as we can?" You had that scene with the opening the door. It's like, well, let's take away the funny. We'll take the iconic line and just sort of deliver it in there. They're here.
Yeah, deal with it.
They're here. They cut out all of the properly memorable parts, like with the white ghost monster and everything like that. That's all gone. That's all gone. So what you end up with is they've done the same film, but they decided to take out the humour, heart, scares, imagination, originality, depth. I'd say depth, wit, and anything else positive. I know we mentioned this before, but they keep this house is clean. It's like a big famous line from the first film, and they go like, we need to make sure we do fan service, so they keep like referencing it throughout the film. Like, is this house clean? Say this house is clean, and that's like remaking Jaws and having people all the way through the film go like, do we need a bigger boat yet? And it's
I think we need a bigger boat.
It's awful. It's just horrible. And then like the ending of the film, they change, and I'm not like, it's a remake and they dared to change something. How dare they change something? That's not the attitude I'm taking. But what the attitude I'm taking is they changed everything and made it crap. And I don't know why. And the thing is, I actually believe that the director likes the first film, and I think that's
You
worse.
say he's the guy that made Monster
Yeah,
House. And Monster
and
House is very similar to
I
Poltergeist.
know, and I think that's worse because I believe he cared, and it's still crap.
I think the problem is with that. He likes the original too much to want to change anything or be ballsy enough to do something different.
And to say no to studios.
So he just modernises it.
So in the end, he's just done exactly the same as what the original's done, but with less effort.
And for no reason!
Yeah.
Like, it'd be okay if it just felt lazy and unnecessary. I'm used to lazy and unnecessary.
That's how I feel.
That's how I felt. But
No! They take the exact scenes and make them worse. They could have. If they were going, no! You're not listening.
It's
They
not
could have been
insulting.
lazy. They could have been lazy and just done it exactly the same. But whenever they do make a change, it's like they've intentionally tried to make it shit. So it's like, remember that bit? Like, the bit, I'm sorry we keep coming back to it, but that bit where he goes, see this, and open the door, and everything's wacky and kooky? Why about we do that, but it's just a chair falling down? Why? I don't know!
You know what the definition of this is right now? It's called a tantrum.
It's not a tantrum! I'm confused. It's not just that it's lazy, which it is. It's not just that it's pointless, which it definitely is. It's that borderline incompetent as well, and they've
I wouldn't
tried.
even go
They've
that far.
tried.
Go that far.
No,
yeah.
it is.
I feel like
It's
to an
competently made.
audience, to a modern audience that adore things like Insidious, who didn't even know the original
Well,
existed.
then see, because Insidious is
No,
actually better.
Yeah, that I think a modern audience that had like seen Insidious, didn't know the original existed, would watch this and go like, "Oh, it was really good. Not as good as Insidious, but really good."
No,
that's
they
what I
wouldn't.
think.
No, they wouldn't. They would not say
I
it's
think-
really good. No one would say
Did
it's
you
really
see
good.
some of the people that were in that cinema, Harrison?
Yeah.
Oh, they were just trash.
Exactly. Exactly. The sort of people that would enjoy
people.
the sort of people that would enjoy shit like this is what I'm getting at.
I'm saying
So
This is-
human scum.
No, this is
people
this is one
like
of those.
Annabelle.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they don't.
Annabelle made a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right.
Just because it made money doesn't mean
point-
people like
No,
it.
but the
They
point
made
is-
people
They
hate to
see
see
it.
The
Yeah,
point
but
is-
they don't know they like it until they see it, Jack.
Harrison, the point is, a lot of these studios aim for the lowest common denominator.
Well,
And
I
this
know,
is what this
I know,
film is.
I know, but you could
And
aim
the
for
lowest common denominator.
and try.
The lowest common denominator will probably enjoy this.
No,
film.
they won't.
They
You
will.
won't. If you're the lowest common denominator, you won't. You won't.
No, because for all the reasons you've just listed.
Okay, well, I'll list other reasons then.
Okay.
I'll list other reasons. CGI is never scary and it's bad. The
Some
jump scares
people
are weak.
find it scary.
The jump scares don't even work. Like if
Some
you like the
people would
Conjuring,
find the
if you
clown
like,
scary.
If you like the Conjuring and
I
things
think
like
some
that.
of the jump scares might work.
No, because like you said, they're all in the trailer. You've seen them all.
That's-
You know where they're coming.
True.
So
The tree
if
was
you
in the trailer.
no, but did that one make you jump?
A little bit.
Did it?
Actually, no. The
Well, it didn't
tree
make me jump, and it
Not
makes
when
someone
he's
else
pulling
jump.
out, but
There you go. There's one bit with a tree that might make you jump. Go see it. There you go. I can't believe that you think it's an okay film on its own, right? It's not.
I wouldn't say okay. I don't think it's as horrendous as you're making out.
yeah, I think you're over.
I think it's a little bit less than fine. And I'm only saying a little bit less than fine because I've seen the original.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm saying that if I didn't love the original as much, it's still bad. It's still bad.
But I don't think if I hadn't seen the original, I think
it'd still be bad.
I think this would be like 6 out of 10 fine.
No.
No,
No,
he
if I
hasn't
hadn't
seen the
seen the
original.
original.
I haven't seen the original. It's 4 out
Really?
of 10.
Yeah, that's what I agree with you.
Yeah.
If I didn't love the
Yeah.
original
It was-
as much,
it
it
was
would be a
at- it
4 out of
was-
10.
6 out of 10. About almost 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah.
And then goes down.
Yeah,
And then
that's what
it's
I'm saying.
Overall,
This is
4
my
out of
point.
10,
This
I'd
is my
say.
point.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the original, it's still a 4 out of 10. If you have seen the original, then it's lower. If you love the original like me, then it's abysmal. But even if you haven't seen the original, it's still 4 out
But
of
I
10.
feel like all my problems with this are because I was watching it going, the original did this bit so much better, the original
But
did
okay,
this
but
so
if
much
you
No, but
if you took out
Fundamentally,
that mindset,
there's still
it's-
flaws with it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bullshit with like, oh look, we have iPads and things because it's modern. Drones.
that is the
Drones
one thing.
pissed me off because it's just their
Found
one
footage
tiny
reasons.
point. Yeah, found
Yeah.
footage reasons, one tiny plot point, and also it's product placement. I think.
It's because it's the same thing they did in Carrie as well. It was like, we're basically taking the exact same film. How do we make it that little bit different? What
Into-
makes
Oh, yeah,
what
the
makes it
cover
different in
page thing.
2015 to how it was in 1982 with technology?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Some people say that the reason films work in certain time periods is because they're reflexive of what's going on in the time. I don't know what the original Poltergeist is reflexive of in the 80s, because I wasn't alive in the 80s. But this feels like it's just taking that and doing it again in a different time zone where it's less relevant. This feels like it was almost the anti-Insidious. It's the same story, but Insidious is very, scares, and this is just kind of like, It was like, Insidious! And this is like, Poltergeist.
Should we do ducking scores?
Yeah,
then?
let's do
Ducking
fucking,
scores.
let's do scores. Harrison,
No, you first.
me first. Okay, I'm gonna go with 4 out of 10.
See, so what was all your bullshit?
I
Why
know.
would people
I said
like
no.
it?
Fine would have been 5 out of 10. I said a little bit less than 5.
Okay.
4 is still 2 stars. 2 stars is not good, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen either.
Yep.
It's just kind of, and again, a lot of that 4 out of 10 comes from the fact that I have seen the original. I like the original. This is just a lazy and unnecessary version of the original. I just feel like I've just wasted a couple hours of my life. I'm not offended by it. I'm just a bit bored. Jack?
Right, 4 out of 10. I mean, it's standard horror, like standard okay horror throughout of it, and then the ending just gets even lazier, and it's 4 out of 10 overall.
Lazy is the key word.
Yeah. And Harrison?
I guess.
There is a post-credit scene for this film.
Fucking
that
bullshit.
doesn't make any sense, confuses the ending of the film, and adds literally no. In fact, it does the opposite of add anything. It actually takes something away from the film. It takes
That's
away
the
the
first time I've seen a
ambiguity.
post-credit scene do that.
Yeah, it takes away like the ambiguity of the ending, and it's just terrible.
I don't even know why they thought it was a good idea.
Literally, yeah, we got up to leave. It was like, hang on a minute, what's this? Oh, no, okay.
It's not
what?
over, yeah.
Yeah, what? No, why would you do that? I just want to leave.